Hello everybody, it's me Alexis today for a tutorial regarding Linux commands. Right now, as you can see, you might be confused. Well, this is not a Linux, it's clearly Mac. The story is I'm actually going to run a Linux on a virtual machine. As I would love to double boot my computer roughly has 10 gigabytes left, and I frequently work with third genomic sequences, and sometimes, of course, I don't store all of them, but they can take a lot of files. So 10 gigabytes is like the smallest buffer I can have. So for you Linux lovers out there, I'm sorry, I'm not running on Linux right now. I'm going to be running on a virtual machine. So the virtual machine, if you haven't seen it, is on another, we're describing a little bit more in our first bioinformatics tutorial. It's basically allowing you to run different operating systems while not changing your current operating system. It can be very interesting and very important in some areas where you just want to run something that requires this operating system, but you would not necessarily need to run it all the time or keep it on your computer. So right now I have this virtual machine running. It's running, of course, Ubuntu. So right now, as you can see, it's a little bit weird, but when you hop onto your terminal, which you can do by just opening the prompt, if I make this smaller. So once you're installed, you can both install the full version, or you can just have the temporary trial version, which I'm actually running, as is prompting me if I want to install Ubuntu. So if you want to open the terminal, just hop into the options, type terminal right here. Okay, and so right now, if we open the terminal, it should open. It was already open, and I have quite memory problem with my computer, so it was not able to open it. But rapidly, once you open the terminal, what you see right now is right here and right here, you have your user, which if you have an actual Linux machine, should be actual username and all Ubuntu, and the name of the machine. That's a bit weird, but in this case, we have Ubuntu at Ubuntu. But more importantly, we have this weird sign. So if I just clear to make this a little bit nicer, I just have this tilde right here. So rapidly, the tilde, if we just want to look at what it is, you can just type echo. I'll go what it means a little bit after. But echo tilde actually means home/Ubuntu. You might be confused many times in Linux because there's some things called expansions. So terms are shorter and actually mean something much longer. They're basically to help programmers which type all day to make things a little bit quicker. Okay? So you'll see throughout the tutorials, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be much shorter than the full version of the command or of their full meaning. Okay? So rapidly, right now, we are in that tilde. What that means is actually we're in home/Ubuntu. So as you know, in the varied operating system, once you click in all your files, you click into little files, open to other files, open to actual Word documents or different types of text files or executive files. So it's like a tree. So basically in the tree right now, in our Ubuntu virtual machine, we're in home/Ubuntu. So there's things up and there's things down. So right now we're just going to try to go things up. So go from home Ubuntu into different directories and try to explore what there's up there, and actually then we'll try to go back and see what's down at the base. So right now we need to see what's basically in the current slice of that tree. So we just go ls. We see that there's nicely color coded. We're very lucky now because it makes things a lot easier and colorful. So the blue things right here are documents. A quick check if that's not actually appearing, you may be downloading a different version, maybe all the prompt is fully white. A good trick to do is ls/l. So we're actually going to add some arguments to our command. So l is basically translated to saying list in a long manner. List things, but with more information about them. So we still see the same thing, but we have the time of creation, we have the date, the size, we have the owner and the creator of the file, and we have this weird thing right here with these dir, w, and x's. Rapidly, I won't go too much in detail. The first thing is what the actual file is. So D for directory, a simple slash for a file. If it's an L, it's something called a symlink, and there's other ones. But rapidly, these are the three most frequent ones you'll probably see. But rapidly, D is for directory, so something you can actually open, which opens to more, or simply a hyphen, which is a file that you can actually open. There's something inside that you can actually play around, maybe a script or a text file, which is just some words inside. Okay. So if you want to have more of these arguments about the command, what we can do? There's something called the manual. So you just write man, and you can actually write man, which is manual of the manual. It's pretty funny. It's actually a joke in itself, but the man actually describes the arguments they can have for man. So you man T, the man A, but these can not be relevant. Most of you guys are just going to use man itself. So just once you open it, I'll open it again, man Q. So just press Q, and it's going to leave. You see right now what I've done is actually move back. So to move back to the old commands, actually there's a file in Linux called, actually I think on most distros is .history. So it's actually keeping the 500, the last 500 commands you've actually entered. So basically this allows me to basically go back forever until my first command I did with this virtual machine. Okay. So it can be very, very useful. Let's say there's a command you've entered maybe 2 hours ago, and that was really complicated, multiple stuff inside. Technically, there's better ways. We could technically just scroll up there and just find it, and just press enter, and it's just gonna run fine, just like a nice memory aid. Okay. So if you want to know more about this famous list command, you just write man ls, and you hop in there. You get all these nice arguments. So you can write it in just columns. You can have it change the file size and to be expressed in kilobytes. You can do it recursively, do it in reverse, do it short by time. There's a lot of options. Actually, list is very, very useful to know a lot of the arguments for list. For example, if you write time, it's just going to be more interesting if I do LT. Okay, so now I'm actually sorting by time, as you can see, from the oldest to the newest. So you see, it can be not very relevant right here, but let's say you want a file. There's a lot of files, and some of them are very similar, and there's a lot of files in the current directory. We want to find, well, I've generated with my script 3 files that are very similar, script 1, script 2, script 3. I don't want to scroll through them, just want to find the latest one. Just list /L or T. I'm just going to nicely sort everything by their time of creation. Okay. So these are arguments, but it's very interesting. I know what's in my tree right now, but I want to go in downloads. How do I go in downloads? Well, downloads won't be anything because it's a VM, but let's go in downloads just for the sake of it. Just down. But now just press DOW, nothing more. And just press tab. Now you see that usually it should just autocomplete. But now if I just cd-do, what happens is the first time I press, there's actually nothing. And if I press twice, usually there should be documents and download appearing. That's basically Linux is finding everything that can be actually correlated with these two letters, or in this case, two. You can write more. And if there's nothing that directly correlates it by itself, it's going to find everything that's out there that does it. So let's say I do cd-e and type tab. Well, there's nothing. So if I press tab many times, there's nothing because there's nothing to autocomplete it to. Okay? Before leaving this directory, when you press L and A, so long for I want all the information, but all, so I want everything that's in there. Now, you might think that's going to be the same thing, right? We've seen all the files, right? There's look at there. There's nothing more. However, there's more. And you're going to see some changes. So there's basically all of the files are hidden, or actually in starting with the dot. Okay. So if you look at here, we have the bash logout, the bash rc. Don't worry too much about what they are right now, but these files are actually hidden from view. And something else that's very interesting is the owner creator of these files are different here. So root. We'll go about root, what is root later, but you can see that there's some files that are hidden from view. Basically because they're not, it's not that they're not useful, it's just usually you won't play around with them too much, okay? So if I just ls again, we have the nice clear. So let's say I want to go in, let's say, documents, cd documents. So I press do, it's going to complete with both, download documents, and now we're inside list again. I've created previously two files, hi and playground, okay? Now, It's very interesting. I cannot go forward. This file tree is very small, but if I write tree, and I should actually, before going there, let's play with these files. So let's say there's a file that interests you. There's hi, there's playground. Well, interesting. I want to know what's in hi. Well, there's many ways you can do it. The first one is concatenate. Maybe I'm saying this wrong, but cat hi.sh. It's going to print whatever's inside. Sadly, there's nothing in cat right now, so cat prints nothing. There's nothing in cat. So I can do another version which is called less, which basically creates a whole prompt that clears everything. But if I can actually scroll back, okay, it does not let. Basically, it creates this file which everything that would be inside would be showed. Now there's nothing. It's a little bit boring, so let's add some stuff to it. So the nicest way, the most simple way is basically for creating a text editor, opening in a text editor where you can edit, add stuff, delete stuff, a little bit like Word. So you can just open Nano. That's the simplest one. There's many text editor in Linux. There's another one, maybe you guys have heard, it's Vim. Usually on some machine it's shortened to VI. And there's Emacs also. Okay. But we'll do it with Nano, it's the most visually interesting, great way to start. And open hi.sh. So right now there's nothing in there. Okay. Well, we'll add a short script that's going to allow you to run the command. We're just going to run echo and hi. That's it. Just echo hi. Okay. What we'll do is just press on Control rapidly when there's a little hat and that letter. Just press Control plus that letter. Control X will allow you to quit. Save modified buffer. Answering no will discharge the charge. So if you don't want to save it, just press no. Without control, just N, or press yes if you want to save it. Then it offers you different files. Personally, I'll save it on Mac. So Control M, and there we are. If we ls, still there. But if we cat hi, we have echo hi. Perfect. We've opened the file and we can see what's inside. Similarly, less hi.sh is going to clear everything and just going to see right here. Okay, we have hi.sh. Okay, Q. Perfect. Now that we see how to open files and look at files, very fun. But let's say you're more interesting and you want to see, well, I've been at the tip of the tree, but I want to go back. Well, the best way to do it, well, there's many. There's just cd, but instead of saying, well, I want to go, there's just, again, that shortened version of going back with just double points. Interestingly, it's actually stored in here. Oh, ls, long A. So it's actually stored in here. So you basically, what you're doing right now, if I clear, is actually you're just going to take that file, saying, well, I'm opening this file, I'm going in this directory, going in this directory, which is actually going back. Now list again, and voila, I'm back there. But now what happens if I want to go a little bit further than this, right? I'm in home Ubuntu, which can also be done by like this. It's printing out the same thing. Well, I want to go back, so let's go back again. Now I'm in home. Sorry. So in home directs you to all the users. Right now there's one user, it's me. Let's keep going back. ls again. Wow, there's these weird files now that are not just blue, they're not just white, but they're in red. Rapidly, I won't go into too much detail today, but basically what these are is, I'll clear because I think you guys are not seeing the full screen right now. Okay, perfect. So now what we're seeing is something quite different. We still have directory, blah, 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 that's fine, but we have this weird root thing here, and these weird red flags with red files with a pointing and an arrow and pointing to another file. Rapidly, what these are is these are actually what we call symlinks. They're actually pointing to something else. So running init this file, initrd.img, will actually run this file. Okay, so basically pointing to somewhere else on the computer. So of course, boot is when you're going to be booting the file. So it's actually pointing. There's different reasons why you would want to create one, But in today's video, we're just going to name it Symlinks. If you want to go look at them a little bit later, we'll look into them in a different video. But you can start looking at them if you want on Wikipedia. They're very interesting. So here we have our directory. Symlinks are now looking with an L, and we don't have any big files here, but they're all directories are symlinks. Now the first thing here I want to say is by the owner. Here the owner is root, or the creator is root. So root on this file has access to read, write, and execute. Now somewhere else, what we call the group. So as we see, Ubuntu is part of the group of the people that can use the computer. They can read, they cannot write, but they still can execute. Okay? Now differently here, somebody else, so the world can read and also can execute, but cannot write. Now these files are hidden, or basically blocked access, and they're only accessible to root. Root is the base of the system. Root is the king. Root can do everything. Once you're root, you're the lord of this computer. You can delete this file, even if it's super important proportionally to those that know Windows 32. Deleting Windows 32, of course, kills the whole operating system. If you can with sudo. Sudo basically gives the access. Super user do. I won't go too many details here because you're just starting and I want you to explore and do weird stuff with the computer. But root can be accessed through this command, allowing you to explore this computer a lot more. What I mean is if I want to access root. Okay? So I'm not root right now. I'll show you by the command who am I. Who am I right now? I'm Ubuntu. I'm not root. I'm not this person. So right now to me, these things would apply. So if I try to open a file that don't have read access, a directory that have no read access, no execute access, what's going to happen? If I try to cd into root, the access is denied to me. So now what I need to do is actually become super user to go in there. So if I go sudo, okay, oh, it's actually not prompting me. Interesting. Sudo cd root. Actually, let's do this. I want to change the okay. And then if I go back here, what I'll have here is the root for root itself is going to be executable. So rapidly, what have I done? Is I've been, who am I? Oh, who am I? And now I'm Ubuntu, but the computer knows that I've also been the creator of this computer. So what's going to happen right now is basically the computer knows that I've created this the software. I've basically built. I was the first user actually installing the computer, so I've been granted root access right away. Now I've been really lucky. Depending the operating system, I was not ready. Usually I run with a different operating system, but Ubuntu actually grants me access because I've created the computer. But right now you've seen that I've actually changed that root file using chmod to all executable. Okay, again, chmod can be accessed through the manual and be explored a little bit more there. I strongly recommend reading manual pages. So I hope this video helped, allowing you to explore and basically look at what's surrounding your computer. Next time we'll actually look at creating files, and I'm creating directories and actually moving around a little bit more and actually maybe running some little scripts. So I hope you guys liked it. Have a great night and enjoy yourself. Bye bye.